Amma seeks Dr. Singh and Sonia's explanation on A. Raja's charges in the 2G case. Her executive says people have a right to know the truth. The AIADMK says its MPs will bring up the issue of atrocities against Lankan Tamils in the Parliament's upcoming monsoon session. As the executive steps up pressure on the centre, a demand for a rollback of the fuel price hike is tabled. As DMK members and workers across the state take to the streets and court arrest over Stalin's detention, Amma says he was not arrested. Even as the DMK patriarch tags it as vendetta, Amma responds saying land grab cases are not vendetta politics. And Arvind Kejriwal drums up support in Chennai for the Lokpal referendum. Good evening and welcome to the news tonight. I'm Evelyn Matthew, and this Saturday night there's lots coming to you in the next 30 minutes. Let's also bring you our national headlines now. The BJP gets tough with Yediyurappa. He finally releases a press statement saying he will step down as Chief Minister tomorrow. Sources say this comes as after Yediyurappa gets his way on deciding his successor, but he will not get the chief post, his other demand. As the government sets to open financial bids for the two fighters, it's shortlisted an exclusive report on the Eurofighter Typhoon combat jet. And within 2 hours of the US House passing the debt bill, the Senate rejects it. President Obama urges parties to find common ground. Our top story tonight, the Chief Minister met the AIADMK executive and the party's MLAs today and has had quite a few pointers for the centre, especially the Prime Minister. At the party headquarters this evening, some of the points that were included were urging the Prime Minister, Mr. Chidambaram, as well as Sonia Gandhi's explanation on A. Raja's charges in the 2G scam, saying that the people have a right to know the truth. In addition to this, the body has also reiterated that their demand for progress into the Chief Minister's request on fund allocation to the state be made. Staying with demands, the executive has also asked for the additional power from the central pool to revive the power deficit state. Struggling under the price hike in fuel, a rollback of the hike on diesel, LPG as well as kerosene has been requested for. In other state-related matters, the ruling party is also urging the centre to disallow Kerala from constructing a new dam at Mullai Periyar. Now, in light of today's arrests and road rokos that were seen across the state, the Chief Minister has maintained that and in fact has agreed with the state police's stand, saying that Stalin was not arrested and this was not vendetta politics, as Stalin's father and the DMK chief had termed it to be.
Land grabbing cases cannot be described as vendetta politics. Complaints of land grabbing were there even during the last 5 years of the former DMK regime. Complaints were given even during the last 5 years by the affected persons, but no action was taken by the former DMK government. After this government assumed charge, people began thronging the police stations.
Well, joining us live right now is our principal correspondent, Peer Muhammad. Peer, give us a sense of the slugfest that's now going on in the state's political circles, with the DMK saying that it is vendetta politics and Jayalalitha saying that it is not.
Chief Minister Jayalalitha has explained in detail the actions taken by the state police on land grabbing charges, and she has explained that it is not vendetta politics as claimed by the DMK chief Karunanidhi. And she has said over 2,000 complaints have been received by the state police, and she has reiterated that these complaints are given by affected persons and the complainants do not have any political affiliations, and these are genuine complaints. The AIADMK government is acting on those complaints. The state police is acting on those complaints as per law, and there is nothing to talk about political vendetta on these issues. When the DMK chief Karunanidhi and DMK treasurer Stalin wanted to keep up the pressure on the AIADMK regime, saying that these are foisted cases and these are political vendetta related cases, and she reiterates that these are genuine complaints and the police are acting on those complaints as per law.
Right, Peter, just stay with us. In addition to all of this, Amma has also spoken today on not bringing the Prime Minister under the Lokpal, saying that it would undermine his office. And not just that, she also had a message for Ms. Sonia Gandhi today. Let's just listen into that.
The entire nation expects a reply from the Prime Minister and from the Union Home Minister. When such serious charges have been made by the former DMK Minister Raja, involving the Prime Minister himself and the Union Home Minister, the entire nation expects a reply from the Prime Minister and from the Union Home Minister. Moreover, the UPA chairperson and the Congress president also should give a statement on this to the nation. The people of this nation have a right to expect a reply or a clarification when such serious charges are leveled against the head of government.
Well, just to come back to you, Peer, while Ms. Jayalalitha says that she does not want the Prime Minister to come under the Lokpal ambit, she's also at the same time, in the same voice, asked for explanation to Raja's level charges in court. Give us a sense of what you really make of what she's sending across to Delhi this time around after that executive meet.
The AIADMK is determined to keep up the pressure on the center on two issues. One on the 2G case. That is why the ADMK has wanted Prime Minister and also the Union Home Minister to reply for A. Raja, the former DMK minister's charges in the court. And they also wanted Congress President Sonia Gandhi to explain, even after 10 days since Raja made those charges, allegations in the court in the 2G case, why are they keeping quiet? That is the question asked by the AIADMK executive today. And Chief Minister Jayalalitha reiterated that the people have the right to know why they haven't answered on those charges. And on the other issue, the Sri Lankan Tamils issue, the AIADMK is keeping up the pressure on the center. Chief Minister Jayalalitha has said that while the central government is yet to give her any assurance on imposing economic sanctions on Sri Lanka for its war crimes, US Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, who met here recently, had gone ahead with some kind of progress in the issue. And the US Congressional Committee has voted to stop financial aid to Sri Lanka. That she has referred to in the media conference immediately after the AIADMK executive, and said that the AIADMK has got some positive response from the US Secretary of State on the issue of imposing economic sanctions on Sri Lanka for war crimes. And she has said that the AIADMK MPs will be stepping up the pressure on the central government on the issue of Sri Lankan Tamils and also on Kachativu in the current parliament session, which is beginning on Monday. And it is very clear that AIADMK Chief Jayalalitha is very clear on another issue, that she does not want Prime Minister brought under the Lokpal bill. And she has been consistent in that stand, because she thinks that whoever may be the Chief Prime Minister, the office of Prime Minister should not be undermined by bringing Prime Minister under the purview of the Lokpal bill. But on other issues, particularly issues concerning the state, the AIADMK is determined to step up the pressure on the center, not just for its quota of kerosene and its fund allocation, on other issues concerning the state, including Mullai Periyar and other issues, which are very important for the state of Tamil Nadu.
Right, thanks very much indeed, Pete, for joining us with your updates there. It in fact did sound like a Chief Minister who did have a clear-cut agenda here before that budget session in the State Assembly. But just for the benefit of our viewers, just after Peer Muhammad mentioned that about the Sri Lankan issue, it is a bone of contention for the Chief Minister and the AIADMK, which has, like he said, decided that its MPs will bring up the issue of atrocities against Lankan Tamils in the upcoming monsoon session at the Parliament. And here's what the Chief Minister had to say today about that.
Our members of Parliament will definitely be raising the issue on the floor of both houses of Parliament with regard to the atrocities committed against Sri Lankan Tamils and the resolutions passed in the Tamil Nadu Assembly to declare those guilty of war crimes as war criminals and to see that they are made to appear before the International Court International Criminal Court for inquiry.
Well, that was the Chief Minister there talking about the whole Sri Lankan issue, which also needs to be brought into light and more attention from the centre for that. Now, today spelt rough weather for the DMK, even as it was just as overcast for us Chennaiites, but for the party that was in power in Tamil Nadu till this May, top leaders like the party's treasurer M.K. Stalin, the former Higher Education Minister Ponmudi, as well as the city's own mayor tried to disrupt proceedings at different parts of the state with road rocos. Now, it all started with the Tamil Nadu police's attempt to arrest Kalaivanan, the DMK's Thiruvarur secretary, in connection with the death of a school student in a road accident in the area yesterday. In fact, he was arrested for allegedly stopping children from going to school yesterday. But following this, the party's treasurer, Mr. Stalin, came out in support, and in the drama that followed, he was reportedly detained for a brief moment. But to this, the state police said that neither was he arrested nor even detained. In their words, he was merely moved as he was obstructing traffic. In fact, Mr. Stalin had reportedly demanded an arrest warrant, and it was then that he was taken into detention. But Stalin claimed that it was an attempt to scuttle the scheduled protest against the AIADMK government on the 1st of August. But following reports of Stalin's detention, hundreds of DMK cadres have been courting arrest across the state in the earlier hours of today. But earlier on, in what had unfolded, the arrests of the two senior DMK leaders by the Jayalalitha government has been snowballing into a big political war of sorts. The ex-education minister during the DMK regime, Ponmudi, took to the streets along with 300 cadres in Vilippuram against that arrest, and even on the land grab charges. He was detained but later on released.
பயத்தை உருவாக்கி மக்களை மிரட்டலாம் என்ற உணர்வோடு அவர்கள் செயல்பட்டுக் கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள். தமிழகத்து மக்கள் திராவிட முன்னேற்றக் கழகம் சட்ட ரீதியாகவும் அறநெறி போராட்டங்களின் மூலமாகவும் இவைகளை எதிர்கொள்வோம். எங்களுக்கு சிறைவாசம் ஒன்றும் பெரிதல்ல. திராவிட முன்னேற்றக் கழகத்தை பொறுத்தவரையில் இது எப்பொழுதும் யாராலும் அழிக்க முடியாத ஒரு இயக்கம் என்பதை நிரூபிப்பதற்கு ஜெயலலிதா கொடுத்திருக்கிற ஒரு வாய்ப்புதான்.
Well, he wasn't the only one. The city's mayor, M. Subramanian, was also detained in Saidapet for creating a roadblock, raising support against the Stalin detention, but was again released later on. 767. Meanwhile, violence broke out in Salem district on the sidelines of this. DMK supporters took to the streets and buses were damaged by those who are believed to be supporters of Veerapandi Arumugam. Now, in the backdrop of all of this, the DMK chief has called for protests against the Jayalalitha government and the state police on the August the 1st, that is the upcoming Monday. Karunanidhi added that the DMK would hold peaceful protests, condemning false cases against the party cadres, and that the arrests today were only to scuttle the scheduled protest.
அப்பொழுது திமுக போராட்டம் நடத்தவில்லை. எப்படி நடத்தியது என்பதும் காலையில் கைது செய்து மாலையில் அவர்களை விடுவித்ததும் உங்களுக்கெல்லாம் தெரியும். இப்பொழுது ஜெயலலிதா ஆட்சியில் அம்மையார் பதிவாங்கும் நடவடிக்கைகளும் அதற்கு மேலும் மேலும் தூவம் போடும் காவல்துறையின் நடவடிக்கைகளும் அத்துமீறி போய்கொண்டிருக்கிறது.
When we come back, if you are a parent, a first-time parent even, we get you some food for thought.